Welcome to lesson number 3 of the beginner's course. In lesson 2 we looked at making sure we don't lose points and trying to threaten the opponent's pieces. But there is more than one piece on the chessboard, and we can't just look at the piece we moved, but all the other pieces too. Welcome to UFOs, the rules about the pieces we don't move. At the end of the course I will tell you how you can start playing lots of real matches. What is a UFO? Normally, if someone mentions a UFO, you would think of a spacecraft carrying aliens, but that isn't what it means in the game of chess. In fact, UFO stand for 3 things: unguarded, focused attack, and opening and closing. Let's start with leaving unguarded. Leaving unguarded. Leaving unguarded is when you move a piece to a safe or safe enough square. You leave another piece unguarded. Here is an example of what I mean. In this position, White's pawn at e5 is under attack. He decides to move his bishop to save it. White's bishop has played a safe move and the pawn can't be taken anymore. So what's White done wrong? If you look at the knight on g3, you will notice that it was defended by the bishop. When the bishop moved, the knight was left unguarded and Black quickly took it with his rook on g8. And it won him 3 points. Now your turn. Look at the position below and decide which move is better. White's pawn at c5 is attacked. You can either play knight to b3 or rook to c1. Which move is better and why? You can write your answer on a piece of paper if you want, or you could just think of the answer. Pause the video if you need time to think. The answer is rook c1. This is because knight b3 would leave the bishop at f3 unguarded, and when Black takes the bishop, he wins 3 points. Well done if you got that right. The next puzzle is about if you can spot the bad move in a choice of 5 moves. This is so if you're in a game and you want to play a move, you can tell if it's bad or not. Black to play. Find the move which loses Black material. Your choices are knight d7, bishop f8, g5, a5, and b4. The answer is bishop f8. Bishop f8 is a bad move because it leaves the knight at f6 unguarded, and White can play rook takes f6 to win the knight. So I hope you got leaving unguarded now. If you want, you can try listen over what I've said and work out more about leaving unguarded, but hopefully you have grasped that now. Next thing is the F, which stands for focused attack. A focused attack is when 2 or more pieces attack the same piece. Surprisingly, even though it's more complicated than material chess, you can use a trick from material chess to stop it, MCSB. Let's look at a famous position, which I covered earlier in the course, called Scholar's Mate. Scholar's Mate is a type of focused attack. The White queen and bishop are both attacking the f7 square. If it was White's move, White could play queen takes f7 checkmate, and the king would not be able to take the queen, because it's guarded by the bishop at c4. If it was Black's move though, he could use MCSB to stop the focused attack and the checkmate. Here are the moves he could play, which we can work out using MCSB. He can't move the pawn under attack because the pawn is pinned. There are no captures because the bishop and the queen cannot be captured. There is 3 supporting moves though: queen e7, queen f6, or knight h6. These are the 3 safe or safe enough supporting moves. You could play g6 to block, and d5 is not safe, because even though it's technically safe according to material chess, because capture and then capture, if you go 1 move further into focus attack, it's not safe, so the only block is g6. So we have 4 options to stop the mate. 2 of them are bad. I will show you why now. Knight h6, to support the pawn, is bad because of this continuation. So the knight plays h6, d4 attacking the bishop. The Black bishop either has to take or run away. In this position it decides to take, doesn't make a difference. White takes the knight, and all of a sudden it's not guarding anymore, and the queen takes there. This is quite complicated, so you don't need to worry. This is the type of tactic called removing the defender, and it's not needed at this level of chess, so don't worry about this. Or why g6 is bad, it's also complicated. It's another tactic called a fork. and you don't need to worry about that now. But g6, this happens, and the white wins the rook. So using MCSB and some more tactical play, which you don't need to worry about, we discovered that queen e6, 7 or queen f6 is the best way to stop this focused attack. Number, value, order. With focused attacks, you need to remember 3 things to help you solve them accurately. Number, value, and order. Number is the most important one, and it means the number of pieces on both sides attacking the piece under attack. To control that piece or square, you will need a greater number of attackers than defenders, or an equal amount. So in this position, it's black's turn to play. He can capture the pawn at d4 as he has 3 pieces attacking it, but it's only defended by 2 pieces. This leads to knight takes d4, knight takes d4, rook takes d4, rook takes d4, and then bishop takes d4, and black ends up winning a pawn. If it's white to play, he can play bishop b2 or bishop e3 to match the number of defenders. With the number of attackers, and therefore black wouldn't be able to win the pawn. Value is the second factor in focused attacks, and in some cases it completely overrides numbers. We can see the pawn at g5 is attacked by 2 pieces, the bishop and the knight, and it's only defended by 1, the pawn at h6. So according to number we should take it, but this is not the case. The pawn is well defended because the attack piece and the defending piece the attack piece and the piece defending the attack piece are both lower than the attacking pieces. Pawns are lower than knights and bishops. If white plays knight takes g5, h takes g5, and then bishop takes g5, he would lose a pawn, as a knight is worth 1 more point than 2 pawns. Order is the third factor in focused attacks. Order means the order of the captures we make. The rule to remember is to capture the lowest piece first and the highest piece last. We used this position earlier this lesson over here for number, but if black captures in the wrong order, he might even end up losing a pawn. So if black captures with his rook first instead of his knight then bishop, he ends up losing a pawn by rook takes d4, knight takes d4, knight takes d4. And black has lost 1 point. White can stop capturing here and win a point. Now we have a focused attacks test, just to make sure you've got focused attacks right. Here white is attacking the pawn at e5 4 times, and it's only defended 3 times. If it's white's move, show the correct sequence of captures to win a pawn for white. Pause the video to write down the answers. Finished? Let's check the answer. Right, so the answers was, this is the order you should have had it. You should have gone, take the pawn first, the lowest piece. Black takes back the pawn. You're equal on points. Knight takes e5, you're winning a pawn. Knight takes e5. He's winning 2 points, but then you take his knight, with bishop takes e5, and you win a pawn. Now imagine that it's black's move. Using MCSB, list the different defences in a table. Pause the video to write down the answers. Finished? Let's check the answer. Okay, so the only move which could stop it is e4. The captures, which I guess is also technically a move because it moves the pawn, is e takes d4. You could support it by playing f6, or you can play f6, but you cannot block. Did you get the answers right? If not, you can go back in the video to watch the parts you found difficult. Opening and closing lines. The final letter from O from UFO stands for opening and closing lines. This means that when a piece moves, it opens a line for another piece to be taken. Here is an example. In this position, white decides to move to guard g5. It is a safe move according to white decides to move his knight to g5. It is a safe move according to material chess, and it doesn't leave anything unguarded either. So why is this move so bad? Because it opens a line for the black bishop. Black can now play bishop takes d1 and win a queen. But you can also fall into the trap of closing lines. Try work out which move is best in the next position. Would you play bishop e6 or bishop f5? Pause the video to work out the answer. So either you could play for black, bishop e6, or bishop f5. Finished? Let's go through the answer. The answer is bishop f5 is better because bishop e6 blocks the rook from defending the knight, and white will take it by knight takes e5 and win 3 points. But opening and closing lines can also be used for good purposes. Black cannot save his knight using MCSB materially, but there is a way to save the knight. How? Pause the video to come up with an answer. Finished? Let's check your answer. The answer is knight c6. This opens the file for the rook to save the knight and threaten the white queen. Notice that if white plays knight a6, he blocks the queen from defending the rook and closes a file, so the queen could just take on a8. And if white plays knight d7, he loses his knight because it's not safe to queen takes d7. So the only move is knight c6. Now we're going to have a test on all UFOs to check that you can understand a UFOs. The white knight at b4 is threatened. Work out which of the following defences are the best and why. Here's a hint. All moves lose points, but work out which move loses the least amount of points. Pause the video to work out the answer. Finished? Let's check the answer. The answer was actually knight c2, as it only loses 2 points after 1. Bishop takes a3, 2, knight takes a3. All the other moves lose 3 or more points. Don't worry if you didn't get that. It was a very difficult puzzle. Well done. Well done for reaching the end of the beginner's course. Now you are ready to play and win some real matches. You can go over to a website called chess.com, where you can play other people of your level. All you have to do is go to www.chess.com and sign up for free. Thank you for watching this course, and I hope you have learnt how to play chess well. I will soon be making a course on tactics. It might be out by the time you're watching this, and that's probably the best thing to watch if you want to improve your chess some more. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe this video, as it supports me a lot. Bye!